South Korea says it'll take countermeasures after accusing North Korea of sending troops to fight for Russia in Ukraine. Pyongyang has called the allegation it's sent up to 12,000 elite troops to the battlefield as a groundless rumour. The South Korean government says if the troops aren't withdrawn, it will respond in a firm manner. For more on this, journalist Jean Lee joins us now from Honolulu. Jean, NATO has requested more information on these reports. They've come from South Korea's spy agency. What can be confirmed at this point?
What we're hearing from both the Ukrainian president and South Korean intelligence is that North Korea has sent a brigade of troops to Russia's Far East to prepare to join Russian troops on the battlefield. They're saying that up to 4 brigades appear to be preparing to go from North Korea to Russia. They have intelligence. We don't have access on the ground to some degree, but they're probably watching from satellite imagery and tracking the movements very closely. Now, the United States has not weighed in. They're still assessing the intelligence, but the South Korean presidential office and intelligence officials are insisting that they have enough information to accuse North Korea of violating international law by sending these troops, in addition to the artillery and short-range ballistic missiles that North Korea is already accused of sending to Russia to support the war in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. And so is it in terms of if, obviously, but also where the troops would be deployed? Is that where there are questions about whether this would violate international law?
So this is a good reminder that UN Security Council resolutions do ban both Russia from hiring North Koreans. This was part of a global effort to try to stop the flow of money and resources back into North Korea's weapons program. And North Korea is banned from engaging in any trade of weapons. So this is a violation of sanctions. This would be a violation of sanctions on both sides. And this is something that's important to remember, that if they are doing this, if they are engaging in this kind of an exchange, that it is a very public flouting of that international law. Now, Russia insists that it's not violating these international laws, and North Korea has not confirmed that they are engaged in sending troops to Russia for the war in Ukraine. But we have seen them flout these laws before. Now, what I'm concerned about is what is North Korea getting in exchange for the support that they're providing to Russia? And I think the concern is that there could be some, in addition to aid that they very badly need, there could also be some technological advancements that could get North Korea's weapons program, its nuclear program, its ballistic missiles program to the next level. And so that is certainly one concern that we're watching for closely.
Now, South Korea has been under pressure from Western countries, some of them, and Ukraine, of course, to provide Ukraine with weapons. It hasn't done so yet. Do you believe that will change?
South Korea has been providing non-lethal humanitarian aid. So far, it has resisted getting drawn into sending weapons, but this could be the thing that crosses the red. This could be the thing that gets them to make that decision to get involved. And that's another thing, is that in addition to seeing seeing North Korean troops alongside Russian troops, that specter of another nation getting involved could also draw in another nation on the other side, like South Korea, and turn this into a much larger conflict. So while we worry about, of course, the people of Ukraine, we worry about the security of the Korean people when it comes to North Korea's nuclear program, I think that this is a reminder that these types of alliances, these types of agreements can also have an impact much farther beyond just that battleground in Ukraine and beyond the Korean Peninsula. So I think that we are watching very closely to see how this compels South Korea to get involved in that conflict as well.
Jean, from an Australian perspective, why does this matter?
So this is an opportunity. You may be thinking, how does this affect me in Australia? But this is a reminder that while North Korea is very isolated and Russia and Ukraine may seem very far away, that these conflicts do have a way of spilling past their borders. Now, I do think that when it comes to North Korea, that is my area of expertise. Despite their isolation, despite the sanctions, despite the border closures and limited trade relations. They are doing everything they can to get what they need to bring that nuclear weapons program to a level where they can be recognized as a nuclear power. Now, this affects all of us. I'm afraid we're at a point where their program is extremely advanced, and any testing, even not even say a first strike, but even any test that they carry out could be very dangerous for all of us. This is a region that is a tinderbox. This is a region where the Korean conflict has not been resolved, and any kind of testing could also trigger a response from any of the neighbors in the region. So I think that this is a reminder that it's a reminder of how these countries are interrelated and the impact it has on all of us, even if we are not right there. So it is a moment for all of us, I think, around the world to recognize what kind of an impact these conflicts have on our security as well.